Reporting from Arkham Asylum, this is Gotham Rogues. In this video we take a look at the Batman the Animated Series episode, Nothing to Fear. In my first TAS review video, I said I would review the very best episodes and some of the worst. Well, that's not exactly what I've been doing, is it? I've really been covering any rogue-centric episode, no matter the quality. So I figured I might as well just do all of the rogue episodes of the show. With that said, why not let you guys choose in which order to do them? After all, they will all get done eventually. So write down in the comments which episode you want me to review next, and I'll pick the one with the most nominations. Remember, make it a rogue-centric episode, so no I Am the Night or Robin's Reckoning. Also, I'd appreciate it if you stuck to TAS episodes and not the new Batman Adventure ones. I kinda wanna get the original TAS ones out of the way first, and do the new adventures later. Anywho, let's get on with the review. Written by Henry T. Gilroy and Sean Catherine Derrick, and directed by Boyd Kirkland, Nothing to Fear is the third episode of the series, and features the debut of Scarecrow on the show. In the episode, there's a new supervillain in town who goes by the name the Scarecrow. This sinister character terrorizes Gotham University, committing several robberies, and then intends to burn it down. This scheme is foiled by the Batman though, and Scarecrow and his goons are forced to flee to their hideout. But not before spraying the Dark Knight with a face full of fear toxin, a potent hallucinogenic. It turns out that the Scarecrow is Jonathan Crane, a former professor of psychology at the university. Crane was fired by Dr. Long after it was revealed he had committed cruel fear experiments on several of his students. Crane's attacks on the university are part of a revenge scheme, which culminates in the kidnapping of Dr. Long. It's up to Batman to save Long, but how is he supposed to pull that off when he's being tormented by horrifying hallucinations brought on by Scarecrow's fear toxin? I think most people would agree with me when I say that this introduction of the Scarecrow is pretty weak. Just compare it to the first episodes of rogues like Mad Hatter, Mr. Freeze, Two-Face, and Baby Doll. I don't think it's even on the same level as the introductions of Riddler and Killer Croc. It's just overall a very average episode. The action scenes are only okay, and the fear toxin hallucinations could have been better too. I do like it when Bruce begins to imagine that the TV is talking to him directly though, saying he's failed. More stuff like that as opposed to silly giant cartoonish skulls would have been nice. But of course, what really brings down the episode is the Scarecrow himself. He's just not an interesting villain here. Crane wants revenge on the university and Dr. Long specifically for firing him. That's it, firing him. He does all this crazy shit because he was fired. And it's not like he didn't deserve it. I mean, the guy committed numerous horrible experiments on his students. Just look at this shit. He's even got them locked up in freaking cells in some sort of dungeon of horrors. He should have gone to prison for Christ's sake, not just been fired. I don't feel that Crane's desire for vengeance is justified at all. He should instead be glad that he got off so easy. Scarecrow doesn't come off as sympathetic in any way, and is instead a psychotic dickbag who needs some bat knuckle to the face real bad. Does every single rogue need to be sympathetic though? No, although I do prefer them that way. But pure evil villains can be fun too. That is if they're done right. In this episode, I don't think Scarecrow is, because the thing is, he's not scary at all, just goofy. He rants on like a stereotypical supervillain, and the visual design for the character is very silly. I've never liked this Nothing to Fear design. I remember disliking it even as a kid. It's all because of the mask, really. It looks so child-friendly. In the subsequent Scarecrow episodes, they luckily changed it to a far better design with a very creepy face, and also added hay that looked like stringy hair. I love that design, but this one? No. Now, Crane's origins and motivations are pretty similar to the classic versions of the source material, but I've never been a fan of the old takes on his background. It never really made sense to me why Crane became the Scarecrow, and it doesn't in this episode either. In those comics, especially in the pre-crisis stuff, Scarecrow was usually also motivated by greed, and I am at least glad that he isn't that here. In Nothing to Fear, Crane is solely fueled by vengeance. Weak as his reasons may be, nothing is more boring than a villain who's only after money. Batman is handled better in this episode, and it does kind of belong more to him than Crane. Bruce's big fear that's brought up to the surface here is that his father would be ashamed of him. This is mainly due to the fact that he gallivants around town as a carefree, spoiled playboy, which is of course all an act to protect his identity. But still, it does kind of taint the Wayne name, doesn't it? That's a pretty interesting idea. In order to play it safe and draw away all suspicion that he's Batman, Bruce is forced to shame himself and the entire Wayne legacy. The only problem is, in the animated series, he rarely ever put on that douchebag playboy act. He does show up here and there, but most of the time Bruce Wayne seems to be a very responsible and generous man, so I can't honestly see how his public image would be all that negative. Of course, this was only the 3rd episode. Maybe they had originally planned to portray the Wayne image differently. I don't know that though, so it's not a proper defense. Henry Pollack II did the voice for Scarecrow on the show, and it's not that great in this episode. It did get a bit better in later appearances, but here he just sounds too much like a generic evil supervillain. He also sounds just like an ordinary human, and concerning the Scarecrow, that's a big no for me. I think the character needs a creepy, kind of inhuman sounding voice, like he did in the first Arkham game. A guy with an ordinary voice wearing that outfit just comes off as really goofy to me. In conclusion, Nothing to Fear is sadly a pretty weak introduction of the Scarecrow. It's not a terrible episode, and it's definitely watchable, but it could have been so much better. By the way, don't forget to write in the comments which rogue-centric episode I should tackle next. And remember, Arkham Asylum awaits you in the next video.